One would think we're professional, but look at us, everybody. Like, do we look professional? Hey.
All right,
The
Jack, what'd
good
you
points.
make since the house smells
I'm excited.
amazing?
Yeah. Oh God, it's
So
gonna
that I
be
can feel
something.
bad about the drinks that I made.
It's gonna be like the most comforting drink with spices.
Oh, yeah, it's
I'm
gonna be a winter
guessing
drink.
it's
And
gonna
the
be
side
fall.
of sunshine and
Hey.
blankets.
And Katie's here.
Oh,
Whole gang. Well, Mom had to take Jordy to a rally class.
So
a
she's
rally
not
class.
joining us?
My mom took one of her dogs to like an agility type class for dogs.
Another political rally. Okay.
So she said she should be back in time. Okay. Oh, boo! Adam going to the office.
Caramel
but-
apple cinnamon latte. There you go. I was waiting for it.
dang.
Oh God.
No wonder.
Mm.
You know,
I just wish I had a candle that smelled
with
like
our
that.
incredible, production budget, we should fly Jack out here every other weekend just to make
Just
drinks
to
for.
make
Every other week. He is the
just to
drink
make
master.
the house smell amazing.
Hey!
Federico! Hey everyone.
All right, now we really do have
Are we
everybody.
good? Is this when we wanted to take our
Except for-
shot?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
I-
we're
you
gonna
guys choose.
randomly take a shot because Mike made some raspberry donuts which
Donuts. These are.
will be on future shots episodes that come out.
Yeah, in case you're wondering what it is, it's raspberry liqueur and Irish cream. Bailey's Irish
Okay.
cream.
Jack, get out of here. Jack made his own apple syrup.
I had Jameson whiskey in my head, and I knew that wasn't
okay.
it.
Well,
So, cheers, everybody.
Cheers to Jack making his own apple syrup. Oh, you hit the table. I always forget to hit the table.
I did not anticipate us just taking a shot before the thing, though.
Neither was I.
It's
Thanks,
very good. It's such a good shot. What was your shot, Brandon?
It was the chocolate whiskey.
Oh, nice. Nice
It actually was really smooth.
Sunday afternoon. Daylight savings has happened. We all got an extra hour of sleep.
I didn't know that until I woke up, and a couple hours later, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, something's different.
All right, we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. You ready to get the show started on the road?
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cosmos with Cosmos. As always, I'm Mike.
I'm Liz.
And I'm anti-Brandon.
Oh.
God damn it. I thought about that.
Oh, you should have done it.
Damn
We
it.
can redo
but
it.
I forgot all about it.
I guess that means, everyone, we're talking about antimatter.
We are talking about antimatter today. Yes, we are. And before we dive into this, let's just get all this other stuff out of the way. Liz, what are you drinking?
Oh, hey, I am drinking the anti-hero electron.
I like how you had to look at the notes.
I did. Which is
It has amaretto, blended whiskey, and lemon
little
juice.
Seagram's. Little Seagram's.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about Singham's though, with the whole Nixon thing.
yeah,
But
we know.
anyway, and lemon juice and orgeat instead of simple syrup. Also known as a whiskey sour.
Amaretto sour.
Amaretto sour, that's right.
Very nice.
Yes, Brandon, what you got, man?
I got let me grab my little drink here, the Anti-Galactic Planetary.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to try to sing or rap it. But
No,
you can't
but-
say it. You
but
can't
I
say
heard
without
it.
Having the
Anti-galactic
I heard it
planetary.
as the Beastie
intergalactic
Boys.
planetary.
Yep.
There you go. It is. What do I have? Bourbon, White Russian. So it's
Oh.
White Russian with bourbon.
All right.
Oh,
there we
nice.
go.
Nice.
I thought sure I could try something new here.
It's kind of new.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll do it again, but
Okay.
it's an experience.
You got to experiment. What do you got, Mike?
I have what I'm calling the positronium.
Uh-huh.
And this has gin, cranberry juice, a little bit of lemon juice, and tonic in it. It is inspired by one Ryan Reynolds trolling Nick Cannon with the vasectomy is really what it's called. So,
Great.
yes,
great.
but it's it's not too
Well, you
bad.
got to take a sip of it.
Oh, did I say it has gin in it? Did I say that?
You did.
Yeah.
You did say gin.
This is a Ryan Reynolds Love Fest show because it's aviation gin, and we've mentioned Ryan Reynolds now like 5 times in the first 5 minutes of this show.
Have we?
Before the show began, we talked about his cameo in that one movie.
Okay. That's
okay.
right.
See, I missed that.
Okay.
And this was the first.
All right.
So
Anyway.
I completely missed that. All right. As always, follow us on all the things. Drinking Cosmos on Twitter and Cosmos with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, follow us and rate us on all the things as well. And don't forget to join us for The Hangover right after this. And if you miss it, it goes online, so you can catch it as well. And if
What?
Oh, no, I was going to wonder if we're going to move things to Mastodon, because everyone else is.
I haven't had time to look at this up and go over this. Okay, I just it's too much.
We can talk about that in our.
Someone put some stock in though. We should probably put some stock in though, real quick to it.
We can talk about that.
Anyway,
post
yes.
podcast. All right,
We're not on Mastodon yet, but maybe
one day.
We forget what it is.
Yeah, we're too
right.
old for this shit.
If you're interested in some really great art, check out my sister-in-law, Katie, at Wild Ixia on Etsy. She has a lot of great stuff, and I like to point out I was the first person to buy something from her.
Yes, you do like to point that
I
out.
do like to point that out because
Every
it's
time.
the only time I've ever been first. So,
Okay.
and so,
Well, you know what they say: nice guys finish last.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I see that this is highlighted in my notes, so I guess Brandon's going to be rewriting Katie's thing. Better not.
Wait, what? Oh, no, I highlighted it so I could copy it into my Google and go check out the shop while you guys were talking.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. You can also check out Ron Proctor with the MrProctorShow.com. He's got a lot of great commentary on education and society in general. And if you happen to be in the Council Bluff, Iowa area, which is near Omaha, Nebraska, so right there kind of on the border, check out the Rolling Bluffs Planetarium. You can also go to rollingbluffsplanetarium.com. And so if you're in the area, go check out and check out this planetarium and, become one with the universe. I don't know. I didn't know how to close that out.
Nice. Okay. Nice transition.
Yeah. Also, was it every other Wednesday that we do the shot?
Yes, the shot.
Yeah, every
Take a
other
shot
Wednesday
with
we
us.
upload
Take a shot of astronomy.
shot
every
of
other
astronomy.
Wednesday.
It's like a nice little morsel-sized drink of the universe.
Which is just my favorite thing.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. We tell stories and astronomy stories and all that kind of stuff. And as always, we have rules. We have if a puppy barks, take a drink. If a Star Wars reference is thrown out there, take a drink. And of course, if there's any Lord of the Rings reference, take a drink.
No one says those, though.
No, never.
Yeah, to hell with. I mean, it really is my.
We keep
least
those references
favorite.
secret and safe.
Well, you've already said the
Yeah,
rules.
it's okay.
So
Nope, gotta take a drink.
that's how the cookie
The
crumbles.
rule had already been announced, so we were live.
You knew what
It's
you were
in
doing.
the rule book.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. Now, when we look out
man.
into the universe, look everywhere. In
Looking
this
out.
room, with my Funkos, her TVs, monitor displays, pictures, all that,
It's like,
we
geez,
see ordinary matter. So neutrons, protons, electrons,
just regular stuff.
just regular shit,
Regular
stuff,
old
ordinary
things.
matter.
Stuffing things.
But
Stuffing things.
if you have. If you've watched any sci-fi or read a sci-fi book, this usually shows up, antimatter.
Never.
No, it's never used as some sort of way of some plot point or something. But so thought, why don't we just go ahead and have an episode about antimatter, because we haven't done it in 4 years, so might as well do it. And let's start with, what exactly is this stuff?
Yeah, what the fuck is antimatter? It doesn't sound. It does sound science fiction. It sounds
It really does.
not real.
So basically you have ordinary matter,
Uh-huh.
but then you also have antimatter is basically ordinary matter, but with opposite charge and this thing in physics called a baryon number or a lepton number. And
How you doing,
so,
Liz?
What's that?
So how you doing, Liz?
Sounds repulsive.
Hey, I see what
sure.
you did there.
I'll go with it.
That's good. That's good. And so, for example, you have an anti-electron, which is actually called a positron, a positive electron.
Do they have little smiley faces?
Yes.
Those are
I
the
was
ones
just
that
thinking,
are
like,
just.
I really want like a little cartoon positron.
Yeah.
Whereas like the normal electron is really negative, so it's got a little frowny face.
It's like an Eeyore, yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
an Eeyore.
I like that. That's pretty good. That's how I'm going to draw all my positrons.
Now the positron's more of a Thomas, really.
Yes.
All right, so every little particle in physics has an antiparticle, and
so
I did
cool.
mention that
It's like an arch nemesis, an arch enemy.
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And for like protons and electrons, the antimatter is the opposite charge, but you have neutrons. Neutrons don't have any charge, so its antiparticles don't have any charge as well, but it does have opposite baryon or lepton numbers.
I don't know what that means.
So baryon numbers have to do with like protons and neutrons. Lepton numbers have to do with electrons.
Okay.
So it's a number that's really kind of important in physics because it must be conserved. So if you have certain number of baryon numbers coming into a reaction, you have to have the same number coming out. It's like conservation of mass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and a really crazy thing about these things is that when they meet, when an electron and a positron come together, they just can't overcome this negative energy and this positive energy, so they annihilate each other.
Oh.
But okay, so stupid question, maybe. These particles are extraordinarily small, so what are the odds in the first place they're going to come in contact with each other?
Ooh, yeah. But
Even if antimatter existed, for example.
Antimatter does exist.
Well, I mean, in the wide... Well, let's go on. Let's move on.
Well, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, but the thing is like if you have a positron that gets created, it doesn't have to really go that far before it hits, an electron and annihilates with it.
So we have little mini explosions happening around us all the time?
All the time.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so you eat a banana. Those things are really great at emitting positrons.
You're just a positron fool with a banana.
Yes,
It's a
they
positron
are.
gun.
Yep, and so...
Whoa.
But when they do annihilate each other, you do get these gamma rays, two gamma rays that shoot out.
Oh.
This
So
sounds
they get
familiar. Okay, keep going.
Yes, and so so these reactions between a particle and its antiparticle are like the most efficient way of creating energy because all of the mass is converted into energy, which is not what you get, going from hydrogen to helium inside of the sun. It's just a small fraction of that mass actually gets converted to energy, but in this, all of it gets converted. Problem is, it's not very efficient to actually create the antiparticles in the first place.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's not like antiparticles. Anti-electrons are going to be the solution to our energy crises here on Earth.
Okay.
So I mean, I have it later in the notes, but just to create 10 milligrams of positrons, anti-electrons, that you would want to use to go maybe to Mars, send a manned crew to Mars, $250 million.
That's honestly
For-
not bad.
A thimble of material?
But that'll get you to Mars.
10 milligrams. It
And
gets you to
250
Mars.
million to a Mars budget is like, plus or minus.
Yeah, but still, it's pretty expensive. And when like conventional rocket, fuels and all that are much less. It's,
Well, I guess
it-
it also depends on how quickly. I'm going down the rabbit hole. How quickly that antimatter fuel will get you to Mars. If it's less than 6 months, maybe it's worth it.
it can get you there. Well, I guess.
Does that include acceleration and deceleration, or is there a constant? Never mind. Rabbit hole.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's not like it gets you to Mars and then you just send the manned crew. They just keep going. No, you have to actually decelerate. So that 10 milligrams is for everything to get
Nice,
there
that's-
and slow down and stuff like that. And in fact,
Neat.
like there's NASA had looked into using antimatter to send a little probe at 10% of the speed of light to get to Alpha Centauri, and that included to slow down and actually be there for decades until it gets
goodness.
shot out of the sky by
That's
Alpha
insane.
Centaurians.
I mean, that sounds cool though.
And
Powered by
yeah, and,
antimatter.
and fun fact, antimatter is the fuel that the Planet Express uses in Futurama. 'Cause
Oh.
antimatter is pooped out by Nibbler.
That's right.
See, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
I still don't really know what it is, but all right, we got it.
well, it's something you don't actually want to touch.
To touch.
Yeah, I mean, like if there was an
Because it's-
anti-Liz somewhere and you guys met, as soon as you guys hit each other in this fight,
We explode?
Exactly, an explosion of gamma rays everywhere.
I mean, that's a cool way to go, though. If
It
we're
would
gonna-
be.
Pretty instant.
I mean, just explode in a burst of gamma rays. I mean,
Gamma rays?
I'm okay with that.
Creating so many Hulks everywhere, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's go
Yeah.
find our anti-selves.
Yeah.
And have the most epic high five.
Yes.
And that's that.
I'm down for that.
But immediately my brain goes to, so your hands hit, and your hands create all these gamma rays. Those gamma rays are going to shoot out and probably vaporize the rest of you. So it's really only the
Oh, I
hands
thought you just
that-
like explode immediately all into one.
Well, yeah, but
one
see,
thing.
it's your hands that
Oh,
hit. You
because
have
that's
to.
the impact point.
Yeah, that's the impact point.
Oh. I don't know. It's still cool.
Well,
yeah.
A chest bump then. I don't know.
Yeah, but then it's a lot more gamma rays. That,
Yeah, that's fine. No, we want
The
Max-
most possible.
It's- max
it's
gamma
instant
range.
death, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. At this point, it's fine.
And meanwhile, somebody like across the universe sees this gamma ray burst. That's what it is. That's what we have solved gamma ray burst.
I want to be a gamma ray burst that like the alien species sees light years, hundreds of light years.
And they go,
Away.
"Ooh, neat.
And they
Let's
go,
write that
"Hey."
down."
Look at
They put an
that.
exclamation point around it and write
That would
"Wow"
be
next to
amazing.
paper and circle it.
I did not know antimatter was going to bring us to where we are, but it is wondrous and amazing.
I know, right? And we're 18 minutes into this.
Huh.
I think 18 minutes. Oh.
All right, forget mummification. I want anti-Liz gamma ray burst death.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, I'll call up CERN.
My
and
light shall
see
travel
what I
the
can-
cosmos.
See what I can.
All right.
When I come.
Yeah,
up
just have me
with.
drop
So-
me in that collider.
So who first thought of this weird antimatter stuff? Where did this come from?
Yeah, thank you, Brandon.
Look at Brandon trying to move everything along. Well, it's this dude named Paul Dirac. And Paul Dirac actually was one of the most brilliant physicists of the 20th century. I mean, he actually,
Ooh. Oh.
I mean,
Huh?
probably could be more than Einstein.
Wow. I thought that's
So-
where you were going to go with it.
Absolutely an amazing physicist. Actually came up with a quote, said that if you don't start a sentence unless you know how to finish it. And so it was meant for a lot of physicists. Like
I start many
don't-
sentences that I then don't finish.
Yeah, don't come up with an idea if you don't know how to finish it. Basically, is how it was. But it looked like you were gonna say
Oh,
something.
yeah, I was just going to highlight Jack's comment that if they get close enough, won't anti-Liz be pulled toward Prime Liz? And I like that I'm Prime Liz, but maybe, Jack, I'm anti-Liz.
Well, if you exist as anti-Liz in this universe, then that means we are all anti-everything. You have an anti-Jack,
That's
you have
fun.
an anti-little Leia running around.
Oh my god. That's
Well,
so cute.
let's say you have like an anti-person living on an anti-planet. They see all those anti-particles as just ordinary matter. So they would see us as the anti-particles, as the antimatter, even though we see them as the antimatter. It's all kind of a relative mindfuck is really what it is.
Okay.
So,
I love
And
it.
and I
Thanks.
also want to answer a question in the chat there with Podcast Mom. Does antimatter run the warp drive in Star Trek? So yes, it does. So it's deuterium. It's a kind of hydrogen gas, and it's antimatter that's fused together. That's mediated by dilithium crystals, and that creates the warp bubbles to which they can then go faster than light.
somebody looked up some shit on Google.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, it did.
Nice.
All right. Anyway, Paul Dirac in 1928 combined quantum mechanics with special relativity, which had not occurred
Done.
prior to that.
Ooh.
And so he was able to do that. And he decided to turn his new way of doing physics to look at an electron going near the speed of light. And when he did that, he found that there were two particles that the mathematics spit out, two particles. They were identical, except one had positive energy and one had negative energy.
How do you do this by math?
Oh, man.
God.
Okay, but, okay. Here is an example that I see quite a bit for it. X squared. All right, so 2 squared equals 4.
Okay.
X squared equals 4. What is x? X can be either a +2 or a -2. -2 times -2 equals 4. So 2 negatives multiplied by each other makes a positive.
And then a negative and a positive make a negative, but no, it depends on which the higher number. It makes whatever.
They
I
make
don't know.
they make
I
an
don't
unreal
remember.
baby.
So-
Before you continue, I just want to point out that anti-Mike would be the opposite of anti-Jack.
What? Oh,
We can chat.
okay. Okay. This is
Anyway, all right.
This is so weird. All right, so what Dirac did though was instead of just rejecting that negative part of it,
He embraced
instead
the
of saying,
darkness
"Hey, this
within.
is interesting, but it's probably just an intellectual exercise," that type of thing, he actually accepted it, and so he, by accepting it, basically told the world that you have like ordinary matter, and then you have this thing that would eventually be called antimatter.
Unhappy matter.
And happy matter, yeah.
Negative
So
matter,
the question
bad
becomes:
matter.
is it real? Is it real? Is this something that is real? Is that negative energy particle? Is it real? And
Yeah.
it turns out that it is.
How crazy of a time would it have been to be a physics professor in the early 20th century?
Oh, it's insane.
What do you
'cause
do?
it would
What do you
constantly
do?
be changing. Physics would be constantly changing, and you would have these just constant intellectual fights
Existential
about
crises?
stuff. And because Einstein hated the idea of quantum physics, even though that's what he got his Nobel Prize in, basically. He hated what he really hated was the probabilistic nature of quantum mechanics and all of that. And he got the whole famous quote of
God does not play dice.
God does not play dice. And then Niels Bohr retorted, not only does he play dice, he sometimes doesn't know where the dice goes. And I'm paraphrasing that but a little bit. But
Well, you can know where it goes, but you can't read the numbers, or you can read the numbers and not know where it goes. I'm pretty sure.
So, so for antimatter though, it's one thing for Paul Dirac to say, "Hey, look at these little antimatter particles are going around."
Yeah, anybody can say that.
Yeah, So then what you need to do is you need to have proof that it exists. And
Yep.
that happened 4 years
Proof
later.
is in the pudding.
Proof is in the pudding with this dude named Carl Anderson. Carl.
Carl.
Oh no, guys, no! I was so close to forgetting that existed.
Carl Anderson. He was a professor at the California Institute of Technology. He improved a bubble chamber and a
Bubble
bubble
chamber.
chamber
Is it what I think it is?
Is that what Bubble Boy lived in?
no, but yes. So it is this chamber that is filled. It's basically this jar kind of thing that's filled with water vapor, or at least back for Carl Anderson it was. And as a charged particle zips through it, it will leave a trail of little bubbles.
Oh, that's really cute.
That's
It's
excellent.
like little particle farts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's delightful.
And so he improved it. In the early 1930s, and he set about using it to study cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are these charged particles that come in, they hit the atmosphere, and all these other particles shoot out from it. And so he's studying cosmic rays and watching the little bubbles that they leave behind. And he put a magnetic field through this bubble chamber. And what that does is, if like an electron comes in, goes through the bubble chamber, that electron will curve. And you'll see the curve in the little bubbles. So it's a charged particle moving through a magnetic field. That magnetic field makes it bend, makes it change direction. So the electron will curve, so let's say to the left. But he found that there were some, and the rate at which it curves is intimately tied to its mass. So, and so if this electron curves to the left, he was noticing that there was this other little particle, same mass as the electron, but it was curving to the right.
Wow.
We need a Fast and Furious particle drift.
Nice.
And just like with Dirac, he accepted it. He didn't say that my bubble chamber is all messed up and all this kind of stuff. He accepted it.
He accepted the data that he was given.
Yes.
That's a scientist
And
right
actually
there.
set about to prove that it was correct.
Wow.
And he won the Nobel Prize for it. He discovered the positron in 1932, wins the Nobel Prize in 1936. Paul Dirac wins the Nobel Prize for contributions to atomic physics in 1933. And so they both get the Nobel Prize. Interestingly enough, the positron was actually seen in bubble chambers
It was seen
in
in the wild.
1928.
Ooh.
But the physicists rejected it. Yes. So all of them could have gotten the Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Yep. So,
It's like
so
fucking
they won it.
Bigfoot or something.
What's that?
It's like a Bigfoot or something.
Yeah.
Like seeing a planet, but you don't recognize it as a planet.
Ever since we've been looking for antimatter particles, and
Is it a 1-to-1 ratio?
I don't even know what that means.
What's
the question?
Prime matter to antimatter?
Oh, so should there be an antimatter particle for every?
Particle?
We'll get into that.
Okay, look, I'm asking the right questions. My mom asked, how do you put a magnetic field in a chamber like that?
Well, you basically you open the chamber and you put it in. No, the magnets are on the outside and the magnetic field goes through the chamber.
Yeah, but how do magnets work? Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't go to that.
Well, you see. All right. We actually have, I say we, like I'm a physicist involved in this
You
study.
have a degree in physics, so I think you can claim being a physicist.
But I'm not part of this project.
No, you're.
So
We're not born yet.
there is, on ISS, there is the Alpha Magnetic Spectrometer,
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
AMS for short. And it has been looking for evidence of like anti-galaxies and anti-planets that are out there. Because when we look around...
Wait, but what?
It's a cool little box sitting outside the space station. It's really cool.
Yeah, so
No,
the
but-
thing...
Very neat.
What would it?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, my brain.
When we look out,
Yes.
it's ordinary matter that we see.
Okay.
and only a very small, tiny amount of antimatter.
Okay.
And that antimatter does not live long because it eventually annihilates.
Okay.
And with an electron meets up and gamma rays get blown out.
Okay.
So the question is the antimatter like so far away from us we just can't see it? And so that's what AMS is looking for. That in these, maybe at the furthest reaches across the universe, visible universe, are these galaxies made of antimatter and made of antimatter.
What if it's ghosts?
It's ghosts?
It's ghosts, everyone.
What?
What did we say the other day about ghosts? There was something that we
I think
I ain't
we
afraid of no
I think
ghosts.
We said that. God damn it, Liz! I was setting it up.
So far AMS has found no evidence of anti-planets, anti-galaxies.
What would that look
That's
like,
so fucking
though?
cool.
It
Just
actually
normal? Like, it would just look...
Think
how
of a
would-
galaxy, but an anti it.
How do you tell it's
antimatter is going to behave the same way as ordinary matter. As far as how AMS is set up to determine the difference between two, I'm not sure. I can't say that. I can't even make some shit up for that.
Okay.
You know, like intellectual design, intelligent design scientists. I can't make shit up. But
So many questions.
yeah. So, but physics-wise, antimatter should behave pretty much the same way for the most part. There's differences, which is
but
a little
more
interesting.
evilly.
But more evilly, yes. It wants to take over the universe is what it wants to do. Yeah, so we see it out in the universe because it comes in with cosmic rays, and we see it with bananas.
They also curve left or right.
Hey.
They do. Depending on how you rotate it, right? So, all right. So, can we make it? Is the question. Can we make antimatter?
Oh, can we make it? Okay, I was like, make it to where?
Yeah. And you know what? We can.
We can make it.
We can make it.
We can make it. What's
We're
the recipe?
gonna make it after all.
Do.
Yeah, we make
Aren't you
it.
glad? Aren't you glad we're here, Mike, for this episode?
Oh, yeah.
Providing so much substance.
What is the recipe for antimatter?
2 parts sugar.
Is it the same as an apple pie?
Yeah. Got to create a universe to make it.
Okay.
So, we do it all the time with particle colliders.
Oh, okay.
So you have basically you create the magnetic fields in such a way that you can make protons really for the Large Hadron Collider go around this ring really, really fast and then make them run into each other. And when you do that, you get this like shower of particles that come out. It's a collision, and antiparticles usually are part of that debris that shoots out. So Large Hadron Collider LHC makes it all the time. In the past, we have made antihydrogen. So an antiproton with a anti-electron, a positron going around it, so antihydrogen. We have made, the largest atom that we have made is antihelium. So that would be 2 antiprotons with 2 antineutrons with 2 positrons going around.
Does then like if you inhale from a balloon, it makes your voice really deep instead of really high?
Exactly. That's exactly.
Right after your throat explodes.
Yeah, you don't want to inhale dry ice, right? You really don't want to inhale anything.
Yeah.
So the question becomes, and this is I changed my name of my drink and I forgot to write it down and I forgot it. So I was
the magnetic.
I was gonna call.
Yeah,
I had thought about calling my drink the magnetic bottle of antigen. Antigen works on a biological level and also on because antigens.
Antigen.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Antigen.
So once you create this this antiparticle, let's say it's a positron, you gotta store it somehow. If it goes just
What if you let it go free?
Because it's going to run into an electron, and then it's going to get that gamma ray burst, and then you
Someone's
lose
gonna
it.
get cancer?
How big is this gamma? No, just kidding. No, it's not.
So
Continue.
it's
Yeah, how big
it's
is
not
the
that
gamma?
big.
No, it's not.
Like
So-
We were
a...
just talking about that with bananas.
E equals
makes
mc
sense.
squared. I'll let you come up with it. And so what you need to do
Six
is
explosion units.
42.
okay. It was fun at first. So if you want to store it, you actually have to create like a magnetic bottle to store it in, because you don't want the electron hitting the side of the bottle, because it will
And so the
annihilate the
magnetic
electron.
field
Yeah.
keeps it in like a stasis.
Yeah, so it's contained by the
Stasis.
magnetic field, and it doesn't annihilate itself.
And then you rub it, and it grants you wishes.
Anti-wishes.
And
Damn
that, word your wishes very carefully.
Yeah.
Every
Exactly.
wish is
Like it's
opposite
like that
wish day.
episode of What We Do in the Shadows,
Yeah.
where he got the
There's multiple
the
episodes.
genie.
You okay there, Brandon?
Yeah, I just had to mute things as I sneezed. An anti-sneeze.
All right, so here, let's get into your one-to-one
Yes,
question.
yes, because I mean, it can't be, obviously, because we've already kind of alluded to that, but also because then everything would be exploding everywhere all the time if it was one-to-one.
Is it not?
Because it would be...
Well, yeah, 'cause everything's exploding here on Earth. This place is so fucked up. Anyway, all right, so Big Bang happens.
Yes.
Shortly after the Big Bang, the universe is just filled with high energy photons,
Yeah.
and then you also have like, you know, electrons and electrons and quarks that are just this soup of that. Leptons.
Just like a Dagobah early universe.
I don't know why I sounded so angry.
You did. I was expecting you to say
Okay,
something.
you're the one that...
I was thinking the Bespin. So that's where the gas plant where they mine the gas.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like a dark, swampy soup of universe. That's just been...
Except a lot more energy.
Well,
Yeah, and Dagobah looked kind of cold. A little muggy, but cold. Anyway.
All right, so basically, these gamma rays, this energy of the universe, is creating particles and antiparticles, and basically they are annihilating each other, creating more gamma rays, which makes more particles and antiparticles, which then annihilate each other. And this is all within like just really shortly after, with like less than, it's like a fraction of a second. So all of this shit's going on.
wow.
I'd imagine that'd be possible because the universe at that point would have been extraordinarily small compared to what it is now. So there's less space for these particles to miss each other.
Right, and so it's
they hit
very
each other
dense.
quite often.
It's very dense. What physicists would like to call the collision cross section is really big. So that means that just a greater chance of them hitting each other and colliding.
Okay.
And so, but the universe is not static. The universe is expanding, and eventually it expands to a point where it cools down enough to where the gamma rays, the energy, the light energy of the universe does not have the energy to create these particle-antiparticle pairs. So
it's like, just chilling out.
yeah,
Just
and
chilling
so you don't get any
Mellowing
more.
out.
You don't get any more particle and antiparticles that are being created, but you still have some left over from the original Big Bang, and they annihilate each other. So the question is, why are we fucking here? Because what should have happened in this universe where matter and antimatter are created one-to-one equally,
Okay.
everything should have annihilated, and the universe should be nothing but energy at this point. So there should be no planets. There should be no stars. There should be no galaxies. There should be no people. The universe would probably be better without people. But we're here.
Now,
So-
how do we know it was 1-to-1? Wasn't like a 1 to 1.0001
Wait,
or
I
something
got
like
it.
that.
Math.
It had to have been 1.0000 whatever because we're here.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it had to have been a little
Yes.
bit
Okay,
off
so
it
to
wasn't-
1 to 1.
okay.
So
Like it's close to 1 to 1, but just a little bit off enough.
and in
it's
fact,
weird that
hold on. In fact, they can tell you what that ratio is. It is
Okay.
1 to 1 billion. For every 1 billion ordinary matter and ordinary particle and antiparticle that gets created, for every 1 billion of those, there is one ordinary matter, whatever it is, particle that does not get annihilated, and that is
Now-
that
so
1
eventually
in
you
1
have
billion.
you have the ordinary matter then eventually overtake.
Yeah, well,
Or-
and so that 1 in 1 billion is enough to create all of the visible matter, ordinary matter that we see in the universe that makes the galaxies, the stars.
Wow.
And the way that we know it is 1 to 1 billion is that for every particle, there are 1 billion photons. That's the measure of the universe. For every one particle, there's a billion photons.
you're wrinkling my brain.
Yeah, and so
Wow. We're really just
We
here by
I got
a lot
it,
of luck.
I got it.
Okay.
We matter.
yeah, I was about to say you gotta take a drink that.
Drink for that one. Drink for that one. Drink for that one. That was. I don't have any. I gotta do the thing Mike hates.
I really hate it, but
That was me shaking.
oh
it.
yeah, you could have
boy.
shaken it. There's ice in there. You
Oh,
could
I
have
guess
shaken
I-
it. I would have actually. So how? The thing is we don't understand. We don't know the process. We don't understand the process as to why ordinary matter won out in the end.
Whoa.
There's some hints.
It's 'cause
There's some
we're
hints.
tough.
So when we look at neutrinos, so there was this great thing called the solar neutrino problem a few decades ago, right?
Okay.
And so
Was there?
if you look at the equations of how the sun should work and all that kind of stuff, I can't really hear you.
Well, okay.
So I don't know what you said. You were looking at me like a reaction.
Take one off.
It's for the
of here.
best. It's for the
But
best.
you see, that's aggravating
Okay.
as hell to me. So, anyway, the solar neutrino problem. If you look at like quantum physics, which is successful in pretty much everything, it basically tells you how many neutrinos should be coming out of the sun. When you actually measure those neutrinos, you get 1/3. Yeah. So
Where do all the neutrinos go?
exactly, and so that was the question for a
Oh,
long
okay.
time. They didn't quite understand it, and this is where you get these neutrino detectors that are deep underground in like Japan that are
Oh, those are the cool ones with the water, and they're
Yeah.
really...
And in Sudbury, Canada as well.
Hey.
exactly. And so what they found was that these neutrinos actually oscillate between flavors, between
That's right.
versions
That's
of
right.
neutrinos.
Yeah, you got the ice cream flavors of neutrinos.
Flavors.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so
That's right.
you have regular neutrinos, ordinary neutrinos, then you have the antineutrinos
Ah.
that happen as well. And if you look at at the rate at which they oscillate, that they change from one flavor to another, it's different. Ordinary neutrinos do it slightly faster than the antineutrinos.
Well, antineutrinos like to just,
Yeah, and
take
so
the time, do the thing.
there's also this thing that's very similar to that with these things called mesons, which have a quark and antiquark in them.
It's amazing.
Oh God, no, that is not a drink worthy one. That's just
No.
they're called mesons, and in fact, there's a specific one called K meson, called Kazons.
I feel like now we're just in like, what sounds like a Star Trek alien race? Let's just call them after that.
Isn't there one? It was like what was that ship that got like kicked out to like a quadrant and like like gamma quadrant or something. Was it Voyager? Was that
Yeah,
the
that was
one
Voyager.
that-
with
Yeah, that was
Janeway?
Voyager.
Yeah,
Was it?
Voyager was
Wasn't one of them like Kazons, or it's like they looked like they had like wood on their heads? What they look like to me.
Oh, I don't
So-
know. It sounds like Entons to me. Ent.
Oh, okay. It took me a second to get that one.
All right. Anyway, these Kazons,
Okay.
they will. They actually. Oh yeah. Voyager had Kazons.
What? Okay, yeah. That's what I'm here for, Katie. That's all I'm good for.
Yeah, so they actually will oscillate between ordinary matter and antimatter, and they will do it 300 million.
They're matter fluid.
Yes, they're matter. Oh, well done. Well done. Take a drink to that.
Hey, I got one.
So, and they
Oh,
will.
hold on,
they
hold
will,
on. Jack says Kazons were like diet Klingons.
Yeah, with wood on their head. It just looked like wood to me. That's just what I remember. Anyway, it does it 300 million times a second, oscillating back and forth. That's a lot. It's pretty quick.
That's
Very
fast.
quick.
I can't.
Very fast.
I can't.
Anyway, the ordinary Kazons, they do it. The particle that starts off as an ordinary Kazon will do it slightly faster than the particle that starts off as an anti.
All right,
Kazon.
they're just a little
And so-
lazier, is what it is.
And so to think that it could be related to that, but ultimately they need new physics to actually.
I love new physics.
I love new
Yeah.
physics.
New
Yeah.
physics.
Hey.
And so there actually is, and I need to look at this, and I love the Star Trek reference in it.
Yes.
There is a mechanism that describes the oscillation between these particles, these Kazons. It's called CKM mechanism, and it stands for, these are physicists' names, Kibito, Kobayashi, and
Yes.
I just really wish the next guy would be Maru,
Taboo. So
but
bad.
it's Moskawa.
He needs to change his name.
Yeah.
But there's a
Immediately.
Kobayashi.
Moskawa, you need to change your name, man. But yeah, So, but that mechanism is not enough to explain why there would be why ordinary matter won out in such a degree that it
better.
did.
We're stronger. We're faster.
We're as swift as a raging river.
Is that
No,
Pocahontas?
not. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, guys. We'll watch it next time I'm there.
Okay.
So-
Mulan, come on.
Oh my god, I haven't watched Mulan, and my mom asked, "Whoa, it's been so long. What happens?
Oh my! I'm so excited to watch it again.
What happens if you slow them down? I'm guessing
The
normal.
oscillations.
Yeah, I guess. Is that what you mean, Mom? We'll give her a second to clarify because
You
there's a
break
lag.
physics. I mean, this is
Break-
part of physics.
Okay, you can't slow them down, Mom. It's physics.
You can only hope to
New
contain them.
physics. Yeah, I mean it's basically.
As
Jack
mysterious
knows.
as
Jack
the
knows.
dark side of the moon.
Yes. But the thing is like, so we don't understand why ordinary matter won out over antimatter in the universe. But it's not a just an ordinary physics intellectual thing to think about with antimatter. It actually has been put to use with medical imaging. Yeah, if you've ever had a PET scan, PET being positron emission topography, and I really hope that nobody has had this because they usually use it to try to find cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, I've had an MRI.
Yep, magnetic resonance imaging. I think.
Also thanks to space.
What's that?
MRIs.
Oh,
MRIs
yeah,
also
yeah,
thanks to space,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so with the PET scan, what it does is they inject somebody with radioactive material, and that material actually goes and latches on to the tumors, and you can actually use the imaging to see where the tumors are. And for somebody who gets that radioactive shot, they cannot be around children or pregnant women for a few days because they're radioactive for a few days.
Or bananas. Just kidding.
I would rather
Might
have
blow
it
up.
be a bunch of like bloodhounds that come over and sniff me for
Sniffs
tumors.
it out.
Some labs, some bloodhounds, good sniffer dogs.
And some good leeches to get the blood letting out.
No,
Yeah,
it's a
I
PET
gotcha.
scan.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, because when the radioactive material.
Okay, this is the only time in my life, if I had to have this procedure, that then I would walk around with a radio that would blast Imagine Dragons.
Oh, radioactive.
Because you're radioactive.
Radioactive.
Radioactive. I would just walk around with a Geiger counter and just have it click, click, click,
Or
click,
just
click.
stand
click.
back. I am radioactive. Stand away, children. Go away from me. I'm
Can
gonna
I-
go to the zoo that
Or
day.
Can I just get this shot? Because then I could like really go to like, you know, if a neighbor comes over, like,
sorry,
I'm radioactive,
right now.
Darren, I can't.
Just
I can't.
call me Chernobyl. Stand back. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great. No,
Oh,
but
what
then
would
you
be
wouldn't be able to
worse
get near
though
me.
if it were Halloween and you went as like a power plant gone wrong and you put the candy next to you and the kids can't come by and get it.
Oh my
You have to
God!
throw it at them.
Next year, I think I'm just gonna get a little box and record a little like Geiger counter clicking, and just look like my face is melting off. That'd be a great
That's
Halloween
solid.
Good.
Wow.
costume.
That's fun.
Oh, God, you have
Yeah,
to
and a
Halloween
little.
next
I
week.
have the scientist.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm gonna forget it though, and all that kind of stuff.
No, we're not. I'm gonna put on the calendar right now, so we don't forget.
My
Yep,
mom
yep.
asked, doesn't the linear accelerator when
Yes.
used to treat cancer hit the tumor with protons or something?
I can say something to that.
Okay, I had to read it for
I
our
can say
audio
something.
listeners.
I can say something to it. When I was at the Indiana
Cyclotron.
University cyclotron facility, which is not linear, it is.
Cyclonic.
God, I am so sweaty.
I'm kind of. Well, I'm finally warming up. I was cold.
Anyway, they were working on that, and it was not the project that I was part of. I was part of a neutron project, but so the idea was that what happens is you have somebody who has a tumor in their brain.
Uh-huh.
Okay, unfortunately, they have a tumor in their brain, and if you were to go in with a scalpel, you're cutting through a lot of the brain, and you're really fucking things up. And so, or at least you have the potential to. And so, what happens with the protons is you can fine tune the speed at which those protons leave the accelerator and enter the patient's head. And what happens is basically the protons will go into the head, just leave all the good brain stuff behind, and dump all the energy in the tumor. And so, depending on where that tumor is in the brain, how far away it is from the edge of the head, it determines how fast the protons go. And so you would use something like an MRI or a PET scan to actually find the tumor, how far away it is, and then just hit it with the protons. And so the energy for it that the protons have, if they basically stop, right? The protons come in and they stop at the tumor. And so it's basically, you use it to kill the tumor.
It's a proton torpedo.
That's exactly what it is. It is a proton torpedo. I had to think about it because I wanted to say photon, but yeah,
Photon, yeah.
It dumps all the energy in the tumor and not.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Just stick your head in a cyclotron and.
Yeah, pretty much,
Cure
and I mean
cure
it all
cancer.
comes about because people working
Science.
and at accelerators notice this property about protons and how they basically just go and dump all the energy in one spot.
Wow.
And then
That's
somebody
cool.
was like, and then probably the physicists were like, hey, that's cool, but then you had somebody who like biophysics or something and like, hey, we can use this to fight cancer.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's a nice blend of the sciences. You know, that it's not just physics isn't just for, black holes and,
Yeah.
all that funky shit.
which are really cool, but when you can apply it,
it can be applied to all these different sciences can be applied to all different science.
yeah, it's like PET
good old
scans.
interdisciplinary actions. Yes.
Yeah, it's like PET scans.
Yes. Although they need to include actual pets, though, just to really round it out.
Some bloodhounds.
Puppies.
Like you get to spend maybe
some
5
back.
minutes with a puppy beforehand.
Yeah, it's got to be before.
Or
Because you're
a kid.
radioactive
It has
after.
to be whatever you
Has
want.
to be Jack every time.
Oh, he would do it.
Puppy dog Jack, not person Jack.
yeah, so
Unless person Jack wants to do it too.
I mean,
but,
it's up to him. He can,
yeah,
put
sure.
on little dog ears.
Yeah, but that's where the real magic happens, is when you can take the physics and
That's where the real science happens.
where the real science happens, where you can take it and take the physics, and I mean, we experience it every day with engineers. It's what engineers do. They take physics and they make it so that it applies to us, to the world, and yeah, I mean, it's really people are much smarter than I'll ever dream of being.
Jack says the VA hospital there recently got rid of their nuclear reactor they used for alpha and beta particles to treat cancer. Wow.
Well, why did they get rid of it?
Yeah, although it does seem weird to think of a hospital having a nuclear reactor. You didn't mute.
There's a thing called
Oh,
a
the
mute
one
button.
time. The one time I didn't mute
Wow,
last year.
My brain is the amount of shit we can't see and have had to come up with just ridiculously creative, ingenious ways to
And it
see
works.
and understand the shit we can't see.
Yeah, our knowledge of antimatter is only
We don't-
94 years old.
But it's fucking astounding that we have
100
that.
years ago, Paul Dirac had not come up with this. He had not started a sentence that he could not finish yet.
Wow.
And so, and then they needed a full-on 4 more years to actually find it. But for gravitational waves, they needed 100 years to find those.
Yeah.
So who knows what what is considered esoteric physics now, kind of on the boundary that in 100 years from now will be
fringe physics.
What fringe physics in 100
Fringe
years
spelled
will
with a
be
PH.
just taken as, hey, yeah, that's
Oh.
just, it's like black holes, it's like, sure, I get it, makes sense.
Throw Brad Pitt in one. It's fine. Or no, Matthew McConaughey. Throw Matthew McConaughey in
I was
one.
going to say, what?
Yeah, it's because
It's last
we
night's
just
movie.
watched Bullet Train,
Nope.
which had
Brad
Yeah.
Pitt was in the bad space movie.
Interstellar.
He wasn't in
No,
Interstellar.
that
That
was
was George
Ad-
Clooney.
Ad Astra, which again we call Bad Astra.
Bad Astra. That's right. Yeah,
Interstellar was Matthew McConaughey. George Clooney was Gravity.
Oh, that's, yeah. That's what it was. All right, well, that's our look at antimatter.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yes. Now, before I say join us for the hangover, which I will say in a minute, join us for a hangover, I would like to say that next week, though, we're going to have High in the Sky.
Because we
Next
will be
week, not in 2 weeks.
Yes, because we will
Yes.
be traveling in 2 weeks to the great land of Oregon for the first holidays. of the
American
season.
holiday of Thanksgiving as well.
The
For anybody who's not.
American takeover of the indigenous peoples of this country holiday,
Yes.
where we
Yeah.
feast on
So,
Turkey
so,
flesh.
birds.
So don't wait 2 weeks. Join us next week
Next
for
week, High in the
another
Sky,
episode
November.
of High in
So-
the Sky. Brandon, will you be with us, or are you going to be
I will
on
likely
assignment?
be here. I will likely be here.
Hey,
TBD, but
alright.
likely.
Okay, all right, cool.
Just don't go
So-
into work this week. That way you can be here next
Oh,
week.
you could be here physically if you wanted.
He could have done that
That's a good
today.
Well, yeah, but he was
Yeah,
traveling.
but I
mean,
had
he
to beat
needs
a boss.
That was earlier this morning.
He's
God, that
gotta
was like a 9
have a
a.m.
little time.
But let me say this at least to wrap me up, because I've said like 6 words this episode. I will say, as James Joyce said, 3 corks must a mark.
I have enough.
That's where corks comes from. It's a literary reference.
It is. It is. Murray
Just a
Gell-Mann.
drunk Irish guy wandering through, what's Ireland? I don't know. What was it? I'm just as drunk as he was when that novel took place.
On that note.
Yeah, Murray Gell-Mann won a Nobel Prize in physics for quarks. He's the one who named him.
Oh.
Yep.
Why quark? And that's another episode. Or The Hangover.
Then maybe in the next regular one we'll do quarks. All right. Anyway, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks. I'm gonna go change shirts and we'll see you next week. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for joining us.
Stay safe.
And if you're with us now, stick around for The Hangover. We will be
Hang around
right
for the
back.
stickover.
Hang around for the stickover. We'll be right back with
Cheers.
Cosmos with Cosmos.
Cheers, everybody.
Wandering New Jersey. That's what.
Somebody hit the wrong
Because
button.
I'm a goof. Because I'm a
You-
goof. There
you
we
goober.
go. I goofed.
You big goober.
I goobered it. Anyway, welcome.
Welcome back. Welcome to the Hangover.
Welcome to the world of tomorrow.
We made it.
We did make it.
We have two dogs staring at us.
All right, what do we want to talk about?
What did I ask when we? Right
I don't remember.
We went
That was like
Star
5
Trek,
minutes ago.
quarks and warps. I don't know.
Quarks?
Quarks, warps, and warps.
It was something to do with. God damn
Name my
it!
autobiography.
We just said it. It was not that long of a time.
Jack, help us out. What
I
were we?
don't know.
What
If
were we
anybody
just talking
remembers when I
about?
was like, "Oh, the Hangover," as I used it as a segue. If you remember it, let us know what it was. What I was thinking.
I don't know. I'm going to go. I can't hear because I have. I should do this, but this drives me crazy. First of all, I feel like I look stupid.
Well, put it behind your ear.
But then it's just.
There you go.
I'll do it with you if I have to.
Yeah, see, now here, we'll
I'm
all do
Roderick.
it. There we go. Boom.
No, I can't do it. Sorry.
Cool. Oh, all right.
Well, you have to do it with this one then, so you can hear
want
me.
it? Well, I mean, I can hear you out both ears.
I mean, you could just halfway do it.
Go. Yeah, you can't see it that I'm doing it on mine because I have hair.
Because you have hair. Yeah, thanks for rubbing that one in.
Well, remember, anti-Mike would be a full head of hair and a beard compared to anti-Jack.
Yeah, but the anti-Mike would also hate rugby, and that's not the Mike I want in my life.
That's true. Would our anti-cells be like the opposite of us? Or we just have like a different charge?
All right, and does antimatter exist in the alternate universes that are parallel to us as well? And do they have antis? Like, how many parallels and antis are there? Obviously, an infinite amount, I assume.
Well, I mean, you would think that the...
Answer that question, I'll give you a Nobel Prize.
I mean, one would think that the laws of physics are similar enough in which you would have antimatter in a parallel universe. How much and all that kind of stuff? Well, it depends on the initial conditions of the universe. And you could have universes that are antimatter instead of...
So this is the hangover where we ask Mike physics questions. All right. So in alternate universes, of course, there can be different physics.
Or we talk about politics. Or
yeah. Okay. I listen to
Yes. There could be
different physics. So in those different physics universe, there may not be antimatter because the physics is different. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean,
smell some brains.
But I would say that there is some version of quantum mechanics in every parallel universe, and there is going to be some version of special relativity in every universe. And so...
But by some version, you're just saying different laws.
No.
Right? It's not exactly equals mc squared necessarily, unless that is an immutable fact throughout all the cosmos.
It is for our universe. I mean, it's kind of hard to say, I think, unless you have a theory of everything. But yeah, I think that ultimately you still have equals mc squared. The thing is that the things that are different are maybe the strengths of the forces and all that. I don't think that by having a parallel universe that you end up getting this like sixth force that's out there or 28 fundamental forces of the universe. You're still stuck with 4. And the thing is the initial conditions are all different. And so you're going to have, different strengths for gravity in the universe. You have different strengths of the strong force.
It's a wild west of antimatter.
What's that?
It's a wild, wild west of antimatter.
And it's just a wild, wild west of physics.
You said that because of the emoji with the cowboy hat on.
Oh, hey! Yeah. By the way, apparently Anti-Liz loves sports, horoscopes, and is a total B. And then Brandon Asterix, a little bit of a B. And I'm going to say... Prime Liz, total badass. So, and then Jack makes a point, and since there's a billion times less antimatter, your anti-clone would be tiny. So would that be... What's the size equivalence then on the antimatter?
Wait a minute. Where does he have
In this
that?
universe.
Huh?
Oh.
So that'd be in
Like
this
a little
universe.
tiny,
Like a
southern,
billion the size of a
sporty
billion
Liz with
Liz.
a cowboy hat,
A billion jab. Yeah.
Possibly.
just running around like, hee!
Sound like a tiny wild witch of the west.
On a little horse.
I'm a Virgo!
Oh God.
Oh no! I'm gonna stop it right
You know
there.
what actually makes me think of Bruce Campbell in Army of Darkness, and there's like a billion like
Oh, the little guy. Yeah.
little guys, yeah.
I still haven't. Wait, no. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Welcome to the Hangover, folks.
If you're gonna say you have not seen Army of Darkness,
No, I watched it with you.
okay,
You were there
okay,
when we
yeah,
watched
okay,
it.
okay.
It's like literally last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
Yeah.
you freaked out when I hadn't watched it,
Yes,
and so you're
'cause
like,
it
no,
is-
fuck you, we're watching it now.
Yeah, because it's one of those. It's a classic. Anyway,
It's like
One of those
you and
classics.
not remembering Mulan.
I don't. It's just.
Oh, no,
when
we're
did
gonna
Mulan come
order
out
some
and how
good
old
food,
I
and we're gonna
was,
watch
so-
Mulan.
Okay, Chinese food.
So wait a minute. You've never seen it, or it's been a long time?
I have seen it. It's been
Okay.
a long time
Okay.
since I've seen
Okay,
it.
well, we'll watch it, and I'll only quote half of it.
I've only seen it as a child.
Whereas Brandon just watches it.
Oh my god, it's
Daily?
I go to sleep to it.
That's how
Like,
it was
I'll
with
wake
the
up to
Titanic
Lord of the Rings.
soundtrack. I put up the Titanic soundtrack on in high school,
Oh.
and I go to sleep to James Horner
So
doing the
so
Titanic
I found
soundtrack.
I found this really cool subreddit called Hobby Drama, and they tell stories of weird dramas happening in odd niches of interest. And so one of these was a couple of people creating a Titanic game for about 10 years. And they would talk to historians, talk to researchers, talk to all these impressive people to recreate Titanic, to create their own game. But then it was just, the game just devolved into these ego trips. And so I want to send it to you because it was a fascinating read.
Wow.
Okay.
I guess
What?
on like the 100th anniversary, they put out like a 3-minute clip of real time what happened to Titanic, and it blew up on the internet, like got like tens of millions or hundreds of millions of views. So I got to send you this because it was a great read.
Okay, yeah.
So ego trip of people creating games.
Yeah, so the people
Okay.
creating the games, they wanted to put themselves, or at least one of them wanted to put themselves as the face of everything. But when things started to fail because their visions got too big, he just quickly slipped away and tried to blame other people. So it was just a fun little read.
Oh
Let me
my
send it to you.
gosh. All over the Titanic.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
Interesting thing about antimatter, though, which I did not bring up in the in the regular podcast, is Feynman, Richard Feynman.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
He says is that he with his little Feynman diagrams that antiparticles go backwards in time. And so the reason why
Oh,
we
that's
don't...
right. So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go, please go.
Because I have hand motions ready to go.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, if they're going back in time, we can go back to the Big Bang as well and extrapolate that there was the Big Bang, but also the anti-Big Bang going backwards at the same time. So there were two Big Bangs occurring at a single bang.
Yep. And so,
And I don't know what it means.
well, it doesn't mean the thing. All right, so it
I'm just gonna melt out of existence
Okay.
right now, so...
okay.
Goodbye.
Physicists don't really think that is reality, but it's just an interesting way of.
I mean, if I could turn back time...
Oh God.
I could find a way. Yeah, I'll drink to that.
You're not.
Well done.
You're not tall
If I
enough.
could turn back time.
Cher's like 12 feet tall.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because Cher's the best of us. It's like Cher and Dolly Parton. That's it.
Cher's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah. Don't say that.
I'm just asking a question.
Dolly and Cher.
I'm sorry.
Also
I'm in the
alive.
moment.
Yeah, so I mean, physicists don't really think that's what's going on with antiparticles, antimatter,
Okay.
but but in his diagram, they go backwards,
I mean,
and
if
so they go backwards in
normal
time.
matter goes forward through time, then it makes sense that antimatter goes backwards through
Yeah.
time. I don't know really how time works, to be honest. We had a whole, I think, episode on it.
And if you go
Which
into
I
like,
missed. I'm bummed out about.
and if you go into Star Trek, is there a point in space that's erupting anti-time?
What the fuck is anti-time?
Where does that come out of? Wormholes?
No, it was like the last episode of Star Trek.
Next Generation?
Yes, Next Generation Picard, anti-time erupting from space. That's
Well, that was Q bullshit.
Oh my God, people! Oh, we have to watch that tonight.
No,
Yeah.
okay, wait, give me a second here. Okay,
I mean,
so
It's the
I thought
last
it-
episode.
I thought it was Q that just made it, like, you know, put him in the vineyard, and it was like he was old, and then...
Yeah, but
It
but
was
the
the whole thing.
anomaly, the
Uh-huh.
okay,
you said
the
it right
issue.
the first time.
Oh.
Anomaly.
The phenomena.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember the anomaly.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
What did she say?
It was a point in space that was erupting anti-time.
That's right.
That's
remember
why
that
it was
now.
bigger in the past.
When you see it, you remember.
Okay. Maybe I didn't pick
And,
on
and
that.
then like a whole bunch
I
of
probably
other
didn't
and the
pick
prices
up
show up.
on the fact that it was anti-time, and that's just because
Some
it's
cute
me.
bullshit.
Just
Well,
'cause
I mean,
wasn't paying
it
attention
is, but
enough
it's
Well, no,
to-
it's a big plot point about anti-tam. Now that
okay.
I recall,
All right.
Yeah. So
you'd remember it the moment you see it.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to watch it now.
Jack says an antimatter black hole would be called a white hole.
Yeah, we don't see any of those, but yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah.
Well,
No,
there's
but
a lot of white holes.
no.
around.
The physics is the same though. The physics is the
I'll get
same.
to that.
So it's going to remember antimatter is going to act the same way as normal matter, ordinary matter. So, but if you did have an anti-black hole, and it's just kind of cruising through like the solar system, everything falling into it is all that ordinary matter is going to fall down onto that antimatter. Create all these gamma rays at the center of the black hole. Of course, it doesn't escape it, but make that shit evaporate real quick.
So it's like
All
a
right.
black hole destroyer.
What?
It's a black hole destroyer.
Yeah, ordinary matter or antimatter, depending on what kind of black hole you got.
Wait.
Wow.
Nope. Not going there. I'm confused already.
I'm sorry.
So
but-
if white holes existed, I'm assuming they would have some kind of gravitational mass because it's just what it would be. So what if it came across a black hole and they hit each other? Mike, what happens?
Can you have negative gravity?
Isn't that just propulsion?
We don't see white holes.
But we'll go on
holes.
science fiction here. We'll go on science fiction. So a white hole is the other end of a black hole, and that hits a black hole. I guess it would depend. Is this the white hole that's also parallel to the single black hole?
These are
And-
not the holes you're looking for.
These are not the holes you're looking for.
Oh god.
Oh, god damn it.
Jack says he was thinking gamma signal, not X-ray.
No, but I want to think about this for a second. So a black hole is tied to a single white hole. So black hole A, white hole A. And then you have, 100 billion other black holes out there. So if white hole A and black hole A somehow come across each other's paths and collide, what?
Everything
What?
disappears. The nothing.
Okay, so all right,
It's like a snake eating its own tail.
the typical thought of what a white hole is,
Mhm.
which again we don't see any evidence.
No
of.
proof at all.
Right. So
This is
matter
why it's the hangover, not the main episode.
matter falls into a black hole. It gets ripped apart, and then somehow this matter gets converted into pure energy in some kind of way, and then goes through this Einstein-Rosen bridge, this wormhole, and then comes out of this white hole as energy, because a white hole is energy, right? It's emitting photons of some kind, right?
So the Einstein-Rosen bridge is like the esophagus of the white hole black hole situation.
Yeah.
Or the,
I mean-
the the small intestine, if you will.
Yeah, one of these is the mouth and the other is the butthole. And so, all right. So, but right? I mean, it's energy coming out of the white hole, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's just energy that's going to fall into this black hole. So it's not going to make that black hole evaporate or anything like that. It's just that this energy is going to get is going to meet up with this other black hole, and it's just going to fall in it. Now, if you're talking about making it circular, so that the white hole of the black hole actually meets, is that what you're talking about? Make it real like circular?
It's like space black hole centipede.
But with itself?
It just keeps going in and out, in and out.
Yeah, I didn't put too much thought in that, thank God. But welcome to the hangover.
I think not watching Human Centipede 2 was a correct decision.
You watched the first Human Centipede?
Yeah, well, you have to really.
I didn't watch it.
You gotta.
I didn't watch
Never
it.
did.
I didn't watch it.
I read the plot.
That is all you need. That is all you need right there. The premise is all you need. You then do not need to actually go visualize it because you've already visualized it in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't visualize it in your head.
No,
I don't.
Not to the extent. Yes, Katie's with me. She watched the first.
Yeah, hey,
I wish the second was just the first and backwards.
Yeah, because fuck that.
Yes,
I was like, fuck that.
That was
with the
my
first
reasoning
one.
with the second one. I was like, that's enough.
By the way,
right.
we can curse in the chat if you'd like.
We can.
I
believe.
Yeah, I mean, you can curse anytime.
But I mean, it is. We get it.
It's not like we.
It takes less typing. Anyway.
Yeah. Darn. Yeah. I mean, we do promote this to kids.
No, we don't. We say it's not for kids. We specifically mark it's not for kids.
I mean,
oh, okay.
Whoever the promoter is barely promotes it anyway. Oh, wait.
Why would I be serious about that? No, definitely do not have kids watching this.
Or do.
Or,
it's up to you. You're the parent.
Oh, speaking of which, so as I said, she's not cursing because the mom's here. So yeah, I don't.
Meanwhile.
I try.
The eldest daughter that is supposed to set the example and the role model.
Meanwhile,
I don't think I do.
Meanwhile, I am the son-in-law, and it's like, oh, I definitely am not cursing in front of the mother-in-law. Nope. And then it's just like, fuck it. We're just gonna.
So I found
Dad's in the next room, just like cursing to himself as something is just going wrong.
Watching some golf. So I've realized that the last few states I've gone to when working with the customers, whomever, they've cursed, and I found out I'm the kind of person that people apologize to when they curse.
Yes, you look like a good, decent Mormon boy.
I'm like,
you do. You look.
Or a good, God-fearing Catholic young man.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, they think you're Mormon because you're coming from.
I get that.
Yeah.
So every time somebody asks, "Are you from Utah?" I go, "No, I am from Arizona. I've only been in Utah for 2 years." I'm like, oh my! Just so you guys know.
Yeah. So I went to China. I went to China for training of people. God. But anyway, so first thing they ask you is, are you Mormon? No. And then the second thing is, can I see your tattoos? Because that is just such a taboo
because otherwise
thing.
you're in well, in Japan it's
Can Mormons have tattoos?
No, God, no.
No, but they do.
Nope. Your body belongs to Jesus and God. Here. So no tattoos.
You have the strict ones all the way down to the wow.
Yeah, but
I'm on the registry.
But in China, so if you have tattoos, you're a punk. Basically, is what it is. Well, and I'm like, all right, well.
Yeah, a couple of punks here.
So. That's all I got. You guys can talk now.
Yeah, no. But...
All right, Liz, what's next on the hangover? Where are we going?
I'm not the host
what's
of
the
this
next
episode.
course?
I'm here for the ride. I'm not here to drive.
But it is the 6th, so Absolutely.
Oh, when is the 6th? Oh, god damn it. It's even number. Well, then since it's the 6th, then we're gonna watch Star Trek tonight.
We can watch Star Trek tonight.
I mean, obviously. I've been binging. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was reading chat.
She thinks they just approved native people's tattoos so they can recruit them easier into what?
Well, who did this?
There's not a lot
I'm
of context.
assuming China.
No.
I don't know.
Oh,
It just
no.
says.
Is she also drinking?
I think no.
Is she drinking with us?
No, she was taking a walk.
We really want everybody to drink with us. So but you can still drink on a walk.
It's like what's that song? Never mind. Doesn't matter. I want the world to smile.
What's tomorrow? What?
No. The song. I want the world to smile. Something like that. What is it?
I want to teach the world to sing.
I want to teach the world to. I want to teach the world to drink.
Oh, the world knows how to drink.
Oh, I see. The Mormon Church is approving Native American people's tattoos, so they will
Oh, that's
join
like
the
what
church.
they did for black people.
Yeah.
In the 70s.
They eventually approved the black people.
Yeah, they were not children of Satan.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, where are we at here? What are we doing?
Oh, Katie's in the bath now.
You can drink in the bath. You can do that.
That's like perfect place for wine.
And a podcast of.
Wait. It doesn't matter. But one day I want to bath and have that nice little like platform.
Oh yeah.
Between the two bathrooms. Yes.
Yes, I've always wanted one of those.
I can have like candles and things and just be like, I am having my moment.
Yeah, and you can have where it sets a book up
Wait a minute.
or like.
You can have candles anyway. That is for your book.
We just discovered
my wine.
I just realized that I can take one of my candles that's been in the bathroom with the bathtub that I don't use or light ever and bring it downstairs and light it downstairs on the table in between couches.
I gotta get you the candles that I have that have the things like please don't do meth in the bathroom.
The abortion one.
Yeah. What was that one called? Give me 1 second. It's right here.
Yes, Brandon has some good candles.
And Jack just made a second drink.
Ooh.
Fuck your abortion law.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes. What's it smell like?
It really smells good. It's a bonfire smell.
Ooh, nice. Oh, see, Katie has a candle going. I like candles. It's like they're so expensive that I'm like, I can't justify this for using it just so I can smell things.
Well, I like the atmosphere, and it makes me happy.
Meanwhile,
a bath dolly, that's what it's called.
Meanwhile, we buy out this alcohol.
You need that.
That serves a purpose. That's you know.
Like when the president in Spaceballs was getting his fresh can of air, it's like alcohol basically. Yeah. You need that to survive.
Yeah. Katie approves of your candle. Yes.
Yeah.
And the wine is Katie's date tonight. Is the wine.
Very excellent.
I hope everybody has voted.
We voted.
We
have to turn.
I voted.
We have to turn our ballots in.
Yeah, and which we'll do tomorrow on our walk.
Yeah, you have to turn it in.
You'll have to. Yeah, tomorrow's the last day you can do it.
Nope, you can do it on the 8th.
Well, we can.
That's if you turn it in person.
No, there's a drop box by the library by us. We just put it in the drop box.
Yeah.
So when we take the dogs for a walk, we'll just walk it over and drop it in.
Mine was due because I put it in the mail. If I put it in, obviously it's Sunday. So yesterday was my last day to do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And there's nobody videotaping anybody at our drop box.
I was about to ask. Yeah.
No.
Did we have armed guards like Arizona?
No, we haven't had any.
It's funny how the people doing the videotaping in Arizona do not want to be videotaped
Welcome
themselves.
to the political portion of
We
did it, everybody. We did it.
I have many thoughts about the Arizona political arena at this moment. None of them are good.
I would like to say to my mom that Oregon is going to stay blue. Oregon is not going to go red. You live in a more red area.
Yeah.
But Portland, pretty blue and dominates a lot of the population.
Salem, Eugene. There's all blue areas.
But you know what? Just because most people want one thing to happen doesn't mean it should happen. This isn't a democracy. Wait a minute.
No, it's an oligarchy, Brandon. Haven't you been playing the game?
Yeah, and the thing is like people and
Is that a drink? I'm gonna drink.
It's only in places like
All right.
Arizona and Georgia that like just unexpectedly go blue. That
I'm
everybody loses their shit.
going to back us up here for a moment because
Okay.
we are about to go down a political rabbit hole.
Oh boy.
Like, it's close. We can do it
It's
next week
close.
because next week will be after the elections. And then the hangover next week, by the way, is probably all about politics.
Oh,
So
yeah,
for right
that's a
now,
good point.
let's walk this back for a second here.
Okay.
And, I'm on the spot now. And
Yeah.
we are going to
do
discuss about, wait a minute. So we
Hey.
had talked about earlier in the episode,
Uh-huh.
about the amount of fuel, antimatter fuel it would take to get to Mars, the 10 milligrams, and if that is the acceleration and deceleration versus just the coasting. And what else was it? $250 million to get there.
Uh-huh.
And
10 milligrams.
does that involve getting back as well? Is it 10 milligrams there and back?
Oh, I think
Or
it's
is it
just to
just-
get there. So,
Okay, so it'd be
half
about
a
500
billion.
500 million, which is currently Curiosity was 2.5 billion.
Right. So you have to think, if you add the expenditure of fuel into that, but you get there, let's say 3 months sooner, which would mitigate potential death
Well,
and things like that for
did
the
you
astronauts.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Did you say or did you know if there was a speed differential using antimatter versus?
It didn't say it for Mars.
Okay.
Okay. So let's hypothesize it's the same time frame.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
All right.
But that would also mean your reactor would be considerably smaller, less weight going up there, because 10 milligrams versus tons and tons and tons of fuel.
That's true.
And so that means you can take more stuff with you. So it may be worth it, as a matter of fact. So 500 million for fuel may be worth it, but then the cost to develop the engines will probably be at least 2, 3, 5 billion.
Are the
Because we don't have the engines right now.
Right, the engines would need to be significantly different to process that material.
And you have to remember, though, that there's oversight for NASA. So NASA, especially at a big ass project like this, is going to have to answer questions. And then so you're going to have your Ted Cruzes. You're going to have
You know what? No, fuck. Why'd you even take
you're gonna have,
all my tax money, NASA?
No, because he's in Texas. That's so honestly. But because he's in Texas and answer those constituents,
Okay.
he'd say give NASA all the money they deserve.
All right,
probably.
but no, you see, okay, you don't let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So you're going to have your Rand Pauls.
Yep.
Who will go, why are you spending $500 million for fuel when you can fuel it with gasoline or coal or whatever it is that West Virginia
Can you
wants?
imagine Nicole?
You know what I'm
It's just
saying?
like a
though?
steampunk
It's like,
rocket ship.
yeah, so there's like, why don't you use cheaper versions of the fuel? And so it's...
But it's like, amount
Solar then.
wise,
Solar's super cheap.
the amount to wait to
No, look.
Oh, but Jackass, would containment weight be more than conventional fuel?
Well, you do need
10
the magnets.
milligrams. Oh, well, 10 milligrams is a lot of antimatter, though.
That is a shit ton
So
of
how much
antimatter.
magnets?
So
How many
you do need-
magnets
you do
does
need-
that mean?
No, you're
How
right.
many
You're right.
Skittles is that?
How many magnetic magnets? That's right.
So you are going to need a pretty powerful magnet because it is 10 milligrams of antimatter and 10 milligrams of positrons that are all repulsing
But they're so
each
happy
other.
to be doing this job.
What?
They're so happy
they're
to be doing
Yeah,
this job.
but they're so
Positive,
happy
yes.
that they're repulsing each
Yes,
other that they
yeah,
just
they're-
can't stand each other's
They
happiness.
can't stand the happiness.
So yeah,
Ah.
so you're gonna need a pretty strong magnet.
But, like liquid fuels, solid fuels, it would still be a huge amount of weight, clearly. Look at the SLS, for example. Especially once you get into orbit, you need to dock with another station that can get you there with more fuel, so you can just knock it all out in one go. But you still need a conventional rocket to get to the orbit in the first place, which is not a big deal. I'm just shooting off the top of my head here.
Yeah, so I think with that they're going to see this $500 million. Let's just be nice and say $250 million. Let's take it back to 250
Are you saying
million.
billion or million?
It's $250 million.
Million, okay.
But that is $250 million. and you're going to have senators and Congress people going, that's too expensive. Can we take it back? So our dog Leia has brought up every single toy and just deposited it in front of the door.
Well, Leia is a
are
great
5
source of fuel.
toys.
Yes.
She is.
There are 5 toys outside of her office door.
She
right
brings
now.
There
them
are
up.
With
4
her-
toys.
Look at me,
She
Mommy.
just walked up
Aren't
with
you
another
proud?
one and just looked at us, and her tail was wagging.
Aren't you proud of me? Anyway,
You're a good
so
You're a good girl.
I think that like in a perfect world, like for us, we're like, yeah, antimatter that shit up. Let's do it. We can do this.
Mhm.
You know, put more money into it. But you got more people who want to put more money into making bombs and shit like that. You know.
Mhm.
So, and I think that's the problem. That's the problem. Because they
The war
want to
machine versus the
because they want to
Science
go,
machine.
hey, look at my conservative bona fides.
0.05% of the budget. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, I know. And how much does the military get?
Many more percents.
And I realize that is potentially a political statement, which Brandon desperately wants to put off a week, but
I'll go down this rabbit hole any day of the week. Now we're in my wheelhouse.
so, but I do want to go. I do want to ask Jack. So, Senator Chuck Grassley actually learned to drive on a Model T. I don't doubt that, but I just want to verify that because he's 8 billion years old. Chuck Grassley, the senator from Iowa.
Yeah. Which honestly would be cool to drive a Model T.
Yeah, but
he's just old.
But he old.
But that's how. Yeah, he old. But that's what he learned on.
Yes.
That's what he learned on.
Wait. Okay, so really quick, we'll jump back to this. What car did you learn to drive on, Mike?
Okay, so I learned to
Is it a
drive
Model T?
a stick on not a Model S, not a Model T. I was the next model up. A Volkswagen Rabbit. Little short little thing.
Oh, a rabbit.
All right.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Liz, what about you?
Learn how to do the stick.
All right. Well, I was learning.
Learning. She never learned it.
I was learning
Well,
how to
clearly,
drive and
if
how
we
to
make-
drive a stick.
If we can go into
on-
stereotypes, she a woman. So, yeah.
So, my friend Mary, she tried to teach me stick on her like little Toyota truck that had no power steering.
Oh.
That didn't
Like
go
driving
well.
a boat.
It was really, really tough. But then I was learning how to drive a stick and how to drive on this little 1986 blue Honda Civic. But then my mom totaled it. And so
Was it her fault?
I don't remember if it was her fault or not.
How did
I know
that
Gypsy was in
conversation
the
go with your
car.
dad?
I don't know if Katie was in the car, but Gypsy was in the car. Everyone was okay, obviously.
There's a story here. I'm
But
excited.
I remember like just being like a little mad because like that was the car that I was supposed to get and that I was learning on.
Oh no.
So eventually,
Mom, how dare you?
so I commandeered the '96 silver Toyota Camry that my dad had, and that became my car, even though it was never explicitly given to me as my car. It became my car, and I have since never learned how to drive a stick because the Camry was an automatic.
Oh, but see, I would drive my parents' Toyota Camry, and it was a stick.
Oh.
And so, Volkswagen Rabbit, though, that's how I learned. But then Toyota Camry is what I...
Okay. This was outside of
no.
this was outside of Sue's swim school, which was on the way to my neighborhood where we learned to swim. Mom looked away to help my sister grab a tissue and rear-ended a dude who stopped waiting to turn left into like a little neighborhood. Yeah, that car was not was gone after that. But I'm glad you guys were okay.
Hey, but you know what?
I mean-
Katie got that tissue. And that's really...
Did
That's
she?
what
Did
matters.
she get
At
the
the end of the
tissue?
day.
what matters.
We don't know if she got the tissue.
That's now a left turn lane.
So,
Yeah, there wasn't before.
so next time, like, we're playing Uno at your parents, so
Uh-huh.
in a few weeks, I'm gonna ask your mom about this. try to distract her
I can
because she
imagine
always
it being
like
quite
wins.
scary.
Or Yahtzee.
She does win a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
She randomly wins it, like Yahtzee
I
and
suspect
then
foul
Uno.
play.
But Yahtzee, she will just.
It's rigged. It's a rigged election.
She
It's a
gets
rigged.
lucky
It's a rigged
rolls.
Uno and Yahtzee.
Oh, Katie never got that tissue.
No. Well, I can see why. The tissue went and hit the
Yeah.
windshield.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
And
physics.
my dad was definitely pissed off. But
You know, what one of these trips where you're there for not a holiday? I want to go to Oregon. That'd be fun.
yeah, you should come.
And yeah, yeah. Your mom
Yeah.
never did that again.
No,
Katie,
no, Katie,
never
you-
got another tissue again because there might be another
She's
wreck that happens. Nope. Your nose is gonna run in that back seat.
And
It's
around
not
so
everywhere.
far away.
I remember I was I don't know if it I don't think it was the Honda. I don't remember what car it was, but in at my childhood home in Alamo, it was like we had a before they got an automatic gate way later, we had just this like chain link big gate that you had to like then stop in front of, get out, open the gate up before you could pull in and then close it behind you, etc. And so I don't know if my mom or my dad had gotten out to, I think it was my mom, they'd gotten out to open the gate and or went inside or something. I was in the car. No, this might have been a different car, but this might have been it was the brown Honda maybe. But I had gotten in the front seat and I was like gonna drive it and I had like released the brake and it rolled backwards into like this ditch that was like on the other side of the street from my parents' house, and I remember them not being too happy about that.
I love the idea that in 2 or 3 years this podcast blows up. We have hundreds of millions of people listening, and then they go back to our archives and listen to the exact story.
Yeah.
How old was Katie when this tissue thing happened?
Oh God.
Tissue wreck.
Well, she remembers it, so you know.
I don't remember. I mean, I was in high school if I was learning to drive. So I was maybe around like 15.
And you're like,
-6.
God damn it, Mom and Katie were in a wreck. I can't get this car now.
I was a little bit perturbed, yeah, because that was supposed to be my.
God damn
I
it.
really did love that blue Honda too.
I think Leia's
Oh,
just
was it the
staring at you
Mustang that I
like,
reversed into the ditch? I was so mad when I became of driving age and then remembered that like in my
15,
childhood
16?
my parents had like this like Mustang, this like vintage
Mhm.
Mustang, and they sold it to get a more economical car because they had a kid. And I was like, no, so it
You're
wasn't the
even shit.
Mustang. I don't think it was it wasn't the Mustang,
Because-
but you eventually got rid of the Mustang, and I was so mad because it was
they're
like,
adults.
I could have had a Mustang. What?
Because they're adults making adult decisions.
God, I know. My mom once had a '69 Mustang.
I don't know
but
what
she
what
had-
year
she
was
had
it. I remember it
69.
being white, and I think it had like a red interior.
White
It
Mustang?
had a red interior. A white Mustang with a red interior.
Oh, you gotta get that painted.
Dang,
No.
that's
No.
Get it
something. That's a good look.
No.
painted
it was.
red.
Now
I
keep
don't
in
like
mind,
white Mustangs.
I know nothing about cars.
I know nothing
So
about.
okay, no,
cars.
I take that back. So no matter where I work, apparently, people always talk about cars in my workplace.
Well,
And
do you
so
work
one
with
of the
men?
first, yes.
All
Wait. So one of the first things I'll say when they're in the moments, and as I'm integrating myself, I'll say,
Do you have
you
a
know, I
phone?
know about cars. Wait for this.
You're-
I know
you're-
a lot about cars.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're frozen, Brandon.
I'm frozen. I see that.
Oh God,
it's
it's
a bad
such a
look.
beautiful.
That's a bad look.
I'm gonna do the same thing you did to me when I was frozen when we were on break.
Oh, I see it. You don't even send it to me.
Oh,
I
we're
saw
sending
it
it.
too.
I think it needs to go on Instagram.
Ouch.
That
That's
means
great.
that is a
Less than ideal picture.
oh put that on Instagram. Live tweet that.
But like I'm still on the Skype.
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
Okay,
Oh,
there
there
you
you
are.
go. There you
Damn it.
go.
Well, you're frozen in a different way. So all right, tell your story. You're back.
Anyway, so it doesn't matter now.
But you always work with people who do cars.
Yes, and as they're talking about car stuff, I'll say, I know a lot about cars. I can look at a car's headlights and tell you exactly which way it's going.
Nice.
And that's it. And then I walk away.
I can put gas in it. And
let's see in Oregon.
I hate that in Oregon
you
can't fill up your own tank at most places. Let me do it myself. I don't want to interact with another human being and have them fill up my tank.
No, there's only one place, at least on our trip, where we can get gas without having somebody
Idaho
do it
somewhere?
for us. No, it is on the border of Idaho and Oregon, right there as you cross the border. There's a gas station that we'll stop at if we have a thing on top of the car, and we pump our own gas there.
Oh, maybe because it's so close to Idaho.
Yeah.
But when we get to Burns, though.
Oh God, yeah. But it's always the same guy.
Yeah.
And he's a nice guy.
Do you remember the first time when you got gas in Oregon and tried to pump your own gas? Remember the first time that happened?
It was in Burns. No, it wasn't in Burns.
Well, I think we didn't
First time
realize, and it was like, what's happening right now? The
Yeah, we had
dogs are
to-
barking, and we're like,
But the guy in Burns, he will on occasion give the dogs a treat. And so he's a nice guy. He's the guy where he told me they had to airlift his wife out.
Yeah.
He'll tell you everything, and then I go in, and if I get like a caffeine drink, which I do, the guy tells me if I'm wearing my punk jacket. He likes my punk jacket. And so
you got to wear the punk jacket every time.
But every time we show up, it's the exact same people who work there. I
people.
don't think that they actually.
They just work the same shift, and we go on the same days.
Yeah, that's true.
Of the week.
That's a good point.
No,
So,
they work every day.
Jack
24 hours a day.
Jack asks, is the Oregon gas room the same for EV? Tesla attendance would be cool. I don't think so.
Not where we
I've never
stop.
seen any charging stations where we stop anyway.
No, because we stop in just bumfuck conservative areas.
Yeah.
So.
Which is most areas actually.
We don't do no EV shit.
Most rural bumfuck areas. But there are. We have a library just right by us. And they just installed new charging stations in the parking lot. And so when I go for my morning run on weekdays, I go past the library, and there's 2 cars.
That's right. Yeah.
That will charge their cars overnight. So I'll be it's like 5:30 in the morning, and it's like one's a Tesla, like normal car, and the one's more of an SUV type of a car. And I'll see them there that have been clearly parked overnight using the charging station at the library.
They still have to pay for it though, right?
I don't know. I think it's free. I think you could just roll up and you just hook in.
Oh shit.
So, but those are the only cars I've ever seen using it. Nighttime, early morning, daytime, whatever. I don't see any other cars using them like when we take dogs for the walk in the afternoon.
Well, hopefully this kind of stuff will take off. Though I have mixed feelings about Tesla now. But
what the fuck, man?
Oh yeah, what's Mastodon? We were gonna talk about that. I know it as a really cool band. Mastodon. Good band, check it out.
It's a big elephant, right?
It's a big
Ice Age elephant?
woolly mammoth-y type elephant.
So,
and now it's a new social media platform that's...
I wouldn't call it quite social media in the sense that
there's like servers and...
It's more, from what I understand, I've not looked into it, but from what I've read, it's more like Discord than it is Twitter. You have to know your groups to enter them, and then you can have conversations. But the fuck do I know?
I think we'll
I don't know.
Unless
it
takes off.
Yeah.
Maybe
I still don't
Elon
have
Musk
a TikTok,
can get ahead of his ass. No, I'm
That's not going to happen.
That's funny.
Although
he
I will
sent
say
a
that
car to space. He's not gonna.
That's a different thing. I can rant about that as well. But I will say about TikTok, my sister sends TikTok videos to me all the time, and they're fucking amazing. So
look,
people are very creative.
Or energy to invest myself into TikTok.
No, I'm kind of social media out. I don't do Facebook anymore. Instagram exists. I like Twitter because I get breaking news and it's great. But now all my breaking news is like, well, Twitter just laid off half their employees, and it turns out that was a mistake and offering them back benefits. Like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we can get on TikTok and we can dance our.
Oh, TikTok would be great for your art, Katie.
Now, TikTok is the Kesha platform, right?
Yes, sure. Fuck, I
Like,
don't know.
I know who Kesha is. I don't know the TikTok reference.
She has a dollar sign.
Katie, help me
Oh
out.
yeah, TikTok. Okay, yeah. All right, I got you now.
Wait.
Look,
So once in a while,
That's not my
once in a while, I'll be up in Ogden and we'll do mini golf and we'll play music. It just occurred to me I've never played Kesha with you guys.
You've never played Kesha.
So you don't know that I know all the words to these songs.
Oh my god. Oh, Mom, I was gonna ask you if Amy was let go of Twitter. It was a childhood friend and family friend of my family.
Well, she
who
might
worked for
apparently
Twitter.
she might be invited back.
She might be invited back now.
Because it was all a mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, okay.
Oh my god,
Mike, you're the host. What's up next?
Megalomaniac.
I think we call it. And
we have leftover jalapeno poppers and shredded chicken
so
for more
good.
tacos tonight.
So
and I got pizza bites. Hell yeah.
So
specifically for today.
Nice.
I hope Katie's feeling better, but Katie texted you guys or something, right? It was Katie, right? Who about the jalapeno burn?
Oh yes.
Jalapeno oil?
Yeah, Katie got hot pepper hands.
Hot pepper hands.
When you get burned, she made her hands better now, but she did learn that you have to wear gloves when making jalapeno poppers.
But that then raised the question of, oh shit, we can fucking make that?
Yeah, so then we made some. I didn't deep fry them. I baked them, but
yeah, so we made it like the next night. Well, we made it last night.
They're good.
Oh god, they're really good.
One of my. So go ahead. I'll finish after you.
No, I was just gonna say that Liz basically boated them and put this cream cheese mix in it. And baked them, and they were really good. And so, but then Liz eats one of them and goes, "Oh man, it's got a kick." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna eat one now," and it didn't have a kick. And I was like, do I have COVID? What's going on?
Some of them were more kicky than others.
But I didn't have a single kicky one.
Really?
No, I didn't have any kicky one. And I'm like, maybe my tongue doesn't work anymore with spices.
Well, I mean.
Wait. Jack's going to sushi with drag queen presenters. I want that life.
Nice.
It sounds fabulous.
Oh yeah, Jack. Since this is the hangover, we wanted to ask you.
Because this is our real Halloween for next year that we want to do.
Going as say Boule-esque brother costumes for Halloween, is that not okay for the drag community? Is that offensive?
Boule?
Okay, so
Boule
Brothers, they do a horror drag competition.
Oh,
that we watch
it's amazing.
On
we look forward to watching it every week.
Doing a drag, is that? We weren't sure. We were like, that would be really fun to do those kind of costumes with that makeuping. But then we were like, wait a minute, we don't want to be those people that are then
but
being
in the moment it would
to the drag
be
community.
Drag still, right? Like in that moment.
Yeah, but we don't want it to be
That's fair. Okay, yeah.
Because we're not drag artists, so we don't want to appropriate or be offensive in that way because it's not.
I get that.
So we wanted to ask Jack.
That's a good question there.
But that actually is what we want to address as next Halloween. So
that's what we were thinking about.
So
but I like your toxic nuclear reactor thing, though.
By the way, I put that on my calendar on September 20th to remind me.
That you're gonna do that? You're gonna
leave it in there. Do not delete it.
It says Mike's costume.
Yes, don't delete it. Keep it in there.
All right. I don't have my phone. You have your phone? You don't have your phone, do you?
I tried adding it to you guys, but apparently I don't have
I think it's funny if it's only in Brandon's calendar. Okay, as long as it's our interpretation, it's fine. Okay.
All right.
We just don't want to be offensive to the drag community by dressing up in drag as
No, because it's not a joke.
Drag artists. We're not making fun.
We're not making fun at all.
It would be an homage, really.
We're not making fun.
And I should play. I don't know if I should play it more drag kingish then.
I think that's that actually. I was thinking about that this morning.
I was thinking about that when I was in my shower. I was thinking about it, and I was like, maybe I would be more drag kingish. I should do that.
And that's the like there's water coming down.
Were you thinking about it in your shower?
Down to you, and you go one of these. Huh. Yeah.
That's really
Quite so.
weird. I thought about that when I was
When
in
you
the
were in the
shower,
shower
too.
too?
So,
This is what we think about in showers. What kind of drag king or queen can I be?
I was
Best.
thinking like big hair, but I think it's just for me. It's just gonna be so much easier to be like just melt my face and Chernobyl it.
I think.
I mean, the thing is though,
Anyway,
like
we'll
if
get
if
there.
we were to do drag, I think
Okay. All right, they're fine with Jack dressing as bubbly Moscato in her K-cups. I like that.
I think that we need to do it right, and we
Yes.
need to really
We won't half-ass it.
as
We'll
an
watch
homage.
YouTube tutorials on makeup. That was
Oh,
Leia.
was
That
that
was-
Leia?
That
Yeah.
That was a
was a
Leia
yawn.
yawn.
That
That was
was
a
a
Leia yawn.
But what would be great is if we're in Bend, Oregon next Halloween, and your dad's gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Oh, I stressed my dad out.
And your parents' neighbors. Oh my God, their neighbors like, "Who is this
Funny.
person? What are they doing?"
It's great.
Oh, we got to be in Bend now for Halloween.
Excellent.
We got to be in Bend. And
My mom loves it.
we're just gonna do.
And because this is the theme for the last 2 years, is that Mrs. Dad will then dress up as Mike's Halloween costume.
There we go.
And so like when Liz's dad dressed as Einstein, I was like, somebody stole my prom dress. That was the first thought that went into my head.
Dad looked good.
Somebody-
Dad
Like
pulled
the
off a
first
good
movie
Einstein,
filming.
though. Dad pulled off a pretty good Einstein.
did
He looked
good.
wily.
No, yeah, he
got the
completely
script.
does.
Yeah, the
He
face is
completely does.
Uh-huh.
But my first thought was, God damn it, somebody else is wearing my prom dress, and I just, God damn it. That was really funny when you told me though.
Jack says you contoured would look great. Do you know what
Gotta get the
contouring
contours
is?
in there. It's
That-
like
no,
elevation
contours.
changes.
Contours, it's like...
Oh,
when you-
well, these are contours.
Your cleavage contours?
I even-
You were going for cleavage contouring?
Yeah, and you know what? You know what? What's really great is I actually even have the center line, which I can draw down.
Oh damn! Yeah.
That's right. Doctors gave me a center line.
They're pretty spot on with that center line.
I can just draw. Well, they're contours. You see, boob contour.
Yeah, you can.
Oh.
You can.
But you know what?
I just.
I don't need a contour.
I'm just excited. I just really want to like glue stick down your eyebrows and then powder over it
Well,
and then draw some like wild like.
we talked about it.
eyebrows
We
on
talked
you.
about it for Halloween, but we never did it.
Uh-huh.
So.
Next year.
Well, this has been a great hangover.
It's been fun. It's been fun. Yeah, it's been a good hangover. It's in true to its hangover form.
All right. Well, I think we need to move on and call it. Be careful.
I'll help you with it. Just
All
really
right.
cinch it.
Are you gonna like put your
Like
You don't want to put
Like
foot
in
in my back
Titanic
and just-
when Rose's mom is putting her corset onto her and she's really can't breathe.
See, I was thinking pirates, but that works too. Yeah.
All right.
Aren't you glad that this is not 100 years ago?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
it would be great
yes,
physics-wise.
yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
It would be great
Although I
physics-wise.
kind of did enjoy wearing that
Although-
Victorian-esque costume
No,
for
you
Halloween.
wouldn't.
And
You wear-
1922
Okay, yeah, but there was no
baseball.
corset.
It was not a corset, especially not like a whalebone one.
All right.
I like
Well,
breathing.
I think what we do is we call it,
All right.
and remember next week that we're going to
Next week. Yes.
Yes.
Next week is
and
next week.
Brandon may or may not be here
We'll see how that
for it.
goes.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we're
Have
getting
to be.
high in the
This
I
would be a
hope
wild
we severely
telegram.
drunk the night before, and yeah, we'll go from there.
This would be a wild telegram 100 years ago.
Oh, I know, right? Just like the dude, just going to like someplace in Des Moines. So, or Council Bluffs. I don't know. But anyway,
anyway.
thanks for joining us. We'll
Yeah.
see you next week. We'll definitely be talking politics then.
Oh, God.
Cheers,
Oh, yes.
everybody. High in the sky in 1 week. Stay safe. Go vote if you haven't. Tell your friends to vote. And vote blue.
This will come out after you voted, so I hope you voted.
Cheers.
Bye.
So next week is my turn to host then.